okay? Easy? Okay. Now houses, the bhava, that what we say, is where it is happening, which field, the script that has been given to the individual, the actors that he has got, in which field does the individual experience this life. Whether he'll become a doctor, he'll become something else, or he'll become a military, or whatever, whichever field, or he'll become a sportsman. For each of this you will have to go in depth, provided you have understood the script. Without understanding the script, you will not understand what role the actor is playing and where he is playing, which is the shooting location. Hyderabad is a zone of movies, right? These days, Hyderabad, Telugu movies only are running. So you guys should understand this script very well. The final one, which is little unexplored, will be Drekana. This is the character and manner of expression which finally how the planet will show its expression. Whether he will show expression like the great NTR or some other actor depends on this Drekana. This is that final twist that horoscope gives us to understand what action he will take. This is what we will talk. Now, to understand this Drekana a little better, or rather sign little better, we'll go here. I've just put 5 signs. I'll try and explain 1 or 2 signs because of the paucity of time. Let us take Taurus. The key word given in the classic for Taurus is Bhoga. With that, I always tell in Bangalore also to whosoever I teach, always start with noting down 5 significations of a sign. 5 important significations of a sign, 5 important significations of a planet, 5 important significations of a bhava. At any given point of time, you should know this. If you start today, in next 6 months, you will know. If somebody asks you 5 significations of Leo, you should be able to tell 5 significations of a Leo. Right? Likewise to the planet. Now you say classical text will talk Jupiter in Taurus, Swadara Nirataha, devoted to one's own wife. And you take Saturn, Vriddhastri Dayaharanaha, wins the hearts of older women. If you actually look at, they're talking about some sort of a affection towards the opposite sex. The results have changed because the actors have changed. Jupiter is giving a result to its own nature. Saturn is giving the result to its own nature. But the sign quality remains the same. The script remains the same. The actor is performing a little differently. Now the Drekana will decide in which form finally it will take. Let us take Leo. Girijana Vanalaye resides in hills and mountains, if Jupiter is there. And Saturn, it puts away from one's own people. These are absolute as is from the classics, without any aspect. I'm not confusing you all with anything. When we have to understand in Jyotisha, we have to understand the planet in that sign as is, and then start applying one by one what changes it will go through. That is the one way to learn from the basic, and it will become stronger. Now you see, the individuality rises very high, the pride rises very high in Leo. When the pride rises, there will be some kind of catastrophic results that will come with relationships. So that is why Leo is known as Vivridha Rosho, which means anger related problems that might come due to pride and things like that. So Saturn can, if Saturn is in Leo alone, can put the person away from his own family members, is what the result that the classic is saying. So the point that I am trying to make is, I'm retaining the script as constant. We are asking different actors, how will they play? Like you put Mercury there, it will tell you that one of the result will be like Mercury, they will be little harsh on their younger sibling. This is the basis at which all classics have been written. If you don't understand that, then it will be like we are just reading, right? So this is fine. We'll go to the Drekana part. This is another table that I have made. 5 words: Taurus, Saturn significations. I have added Taurus significations with Saturn significations. And what is the Saturn in Taurus? Practical, cautious, and gain through struggles. Whether it is Jupiter, it will be wisdom through knowledge and dharma. And the Jupiter in Taurus will be benefits others, learned, ethical, and guiding. These are 5 positive ones. These are 5 shadow qualities that may come in. And when you look at horoscope, you should always understand, for any sign, any planet, you should always know there are 5 higher expressions. There are 5 shadow expressions, you can say. You need not say malefic, but use it as a shadow quality. Everyone will come with their own shadow qualities. You can, this is for the table that I have put it. I'll pass on, you can use it later. Now you see 2 charts I have put here, which the classics are talking about. Exactly what? Don't worry about too many complications here. Lagna Lord in 6th house, right? What that does mean, I don't know still, but I will still first I will go with the script. Jupiter in Taurus, what did the classics say? Easy? Okay. All Kohli fans are here. Charles Shobraj. Saturn is in Taurus. What is he famous for? Deceiving the women in a wrong ways, and he is notorious for that. The same, see how the entire energy is changed. If you don't understand this, we will not get to know why the classics are talking about like this. Only thing you should know is how to apply this. For that, you need to make Lagna, wherever that you are there, as the base. It has to, the script has to be constant, right? We'll go to the next level. This is fine now, right? Actors have changed, results have changed. Now we'll go to the next one. This cyclical flow of Drekana is what something needs to be understood. The first Drekana is, what do I want? In each sign, we have 3 Drekanas, correct? The first Drekana will mean something, the second Drekana will mean something, the third Drekana will mean something. This is a cyclical way which the classical texts have described. The first Drekana will be your, to give an example, like your Rishabh Pant in cricket. He doesn't think much, he's a daredevil. Some task has been given to him, he will just go out and play like there is no tomorrow exists. But the moment second Drekana comes into picture, there is a guy who is thinking more. What if I hit this shot? I'll get out. So he is worried about the consequences of his actions. He is little more held back compared to the first Drekana one. Getting it? I'm just trying to give some simple examples so that everyone quickly understands. This is a little complex one. The third one will be your Rahul Dravid. Think more, is more suited to coach. What do I become? In each of these signs, if you understand the evolution of the sign, how it goes from Aries until Revati Nakshatra, again it begins from Aries. The Drekana flow is also given in the classics like that. So what does it tell? If you want to understand that particular Drekana, understand the previous Drekana. If you want to understand the previous Drekana, go to the previous one again. So you have to start from Aries first Drekana. And in each Drekana there is a seed, and that seed will grow in the mid Drekana, and that seed will fructify result in the third Drekana. Again a new result will start. That cyclical understanding if we have, then it becomes easy to know what is happening in that particular Rashi. This is a very important one, because finally, before we go into the Nakshatra stage, which we are not covering due to the paucity of time, Finally, how a planet will derive result or give result depends on this final twist. So your 10 degree 30 seconds to 9 degree 30 seconds makes a big difference in the expression. That is why so many divisional charts are also casted, not to miss out even minutest of detail if we are thinking like a surgeon. Jyotisha is about think like a surgeon. How is he thinking about going in depth into that particular organ and understanding what is happening with that? It's not just that just look at it and you get the result. It's not going to happen that way. It will take an engineering effort. You will have to go cut by piece, go back and then come back, synthesize everything and stitch it back. That is the way our mind has to work. So what do I want? What follows my actions? What do I become? Simple 3 words: desire, consequence and manifestation. Clear? Whenever somebody has more, let us take third Drekana 1. They're more positively, they're more matured behavior, serious behavior. Whereas in the first Drekana, they are more dynamic. In the second Drekana, a shadow quality can be, they're very confused. Should I hit this shot or should I hit that shot? If I hit this shot, what will happen? That's why all second Drekana in watery signs goes through emotional turmoil. First, water itself is a turmoil. And then the planets get stuck in the second. You open classics and see what is the result given in second Drekana. It will open up everything. Now, another angle to it you need to understand this, which I will not talk about, is sages that classical literature have spoken about. Agastya Mahamuni, Durvasa Mahamuni, Narada Mahamuni. They are implied meanings. What they have done, they have just taken Maharishi's names and put it off to the multiplicity of results. Your willpower, destroying your enemies, tremendous amount of energy can come from Agastya Mahamuni. The Narada Mahamuni is where the positive quality can be single-minded focus. He is always chanting Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. That is the positive quality. But what is the shadow quality which is done for a better purpose? The intention is good. He is going around. So if you understand, then you will understand the psyche behind the planet is forced to give that kind of an expression. Whether he is giving Dilip Kumar type of expression or the great NTR kind of expression or the great Rajkumar kind of expression, it depends on which Drekana it is posited. Okay? Now with this understanding, I will explain one example. What I am going to do, I am going to keep the Lagna base as the constant. If I make it constant, I will get 5 results out of it. I am just taking 5 so that you can put 25 later. What all the classics is. Transformation, secrets, hidden knowledge. Okay? No problem. We'll keep that. Now, the planet has gone to Jupiter. Now, all I want to understand is, what does this Jupiter give a result? There is a tendency, 90% of the astrologers or students to go through is 5th lord in 10th house, 2nd lord in 10th house. What about the script? What about the Leo? Nobody is looking at it. Then they are wondering, what happens to the Leo? What happens to the exact sign? It is the sign that we have to understand first. Bhava is imaginary. It is only for that person it applies. It is the later stages we go into Bhava. Now what do? I had 3 or 4 significations of the sign. That is your leadership, recognition and authority. Now I will take Jupiter's significations. Guru, teacher, wisdom, advisor, philosopher. I have not done any rocket science here. Everything that all of us have learned from Pravina onwards. I add up everything. I put 10th house. Career, status, public life, profession. So far okay? Now here what happens? You need to understand the final result will come out of Whether that Jupiter is in first Drekana, whether that Jupiter is in second Drekana, whether the Jupiter is in third Drekana, there will be slight change or fine touch to the prediction that you are understanding. The first Drekana will be, let us take a teacher or a guide who enters public life as a pioneer, introducing new ideas and taking initiative. The second Drekana, if the same person has it, such a person will be a little expert compared to a first Drekana guy, because he's a little more matured. Third Drekana will be the authority on the subject. First Drekana, the same planet is giving different result. He's a very flamboyant teacher. He's coming out and giving all new ideas. He's ready to take that risk. In second Drekana, he has a little mastery over the subject in a positive sense. In a shadow sense, this is that same teacher who will confuse you also. I don't know whether this will happen or whether this will happen, but take both. Correct? So, the third Drekana will be the absolute authority on the subject. Now, if we have to go further, we have to understand the sign evolution as to exactly what will be the result. I've just put an example to understand how we go it. Let us take the same example that we have used. How do we apply now? All that we want is, don't worry about the entire chart. The only thing that we want is, what is the Lagna? Where is the Lagna Lord? What is the possible result? In any chart, this should be the first level of understanding. Where is the Lagna beginning? Where has the Lagna Lord gone in? What is that person? Or rather, which energy is dominating him? Now let us apply the same formula and see whether we will get the result. I'm sorry, I have not changed the North Indian chart. So just stick to the South Indian one. I apologize for this. So I'm going to keep Sagittarius constant. What is Sagittarius? A warrior sign. Exploring truth. Wisdom journey. Competitor. It's a warrior sign, isn't it? An archer sign. Now I'll take Taurus. Stability, practicality, preservation. Now I'll take, you have a person who is a fierce competitor, who is ready to go in that situation and ready to respond to that situation without any kind of a ambiguity. Now you add the retrogression. Retrogression Jupiter is what? They can do impossible things. That's what the classic says. Right? So, if the Jupiter was in second Drekana, it would have been slightly different. The same Virat Kohli would have thought, whether can I chase this? Can I hit this shot? An element of doubt may creep in if it's a shadow one. But if it is positively placed and not negative, or rather not afflicted, he would have attained probably a mastery over the subject a little earlier. A third one, he would have resigned to be a coach. Play like this, play like that. Because a little more, lot more maturity is coming in. Now for India's sake, it is good that it is in a first Drekana. Now you add the Nakshatra, it's a fiery Kritika. The moment you push him on the ground, you are asking for trouble. Every ounce of fire that he has got comes out. And Jupiter is his Lagna Lord. And the way it goes in, that the entire life is what we call dominated by the competitive spirit that he has got. So this is what we understand. If you want to understand why sports, the third lord in the Lagna will decide. Means which planet is influencing the Lagna will decide as to which way, which field of operation it will move. So these are some of the things. I'll share this. Jupiter and Saturn. Just prepare a worksheet like this. Put signs like this, put planets like this, take Saravali, chapter 23 maybe, from Sun onwards, start making notes. Note down keywords benefic, keywords malefic. Write it down in your notebook, or make a note in your Excel sheet. This one, you will have to keep seeing it every chart that you are looking at it if you want to know, or if you want to gain some kind of a control over which chart you are analyzing. Finally, the synthesis one, note down Rashi significations, add planet significations with Rashi significations, add Bhava significations to determine the area of life, analyze Drekana for final expression of the planet, and if you want to know the why, then start your journey in understanding nakshatras. Fair enough? Secret? Okay? I will decide whether to give the PPT or not basis the response I'll get after this, after I end my presentation. Okay. Before I end, sir, you had a question. I have just noted on something. An astrologer's journey should start in introspecting. The last question that you ended. Man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for an enlightening presentation on the subject. May I request our NVP, Dr. Vani Vinod, to honor this. Thank you, ma'am.
Since we were behind the schedule by 15 minutes, coffee, tea break will not be announced, but coffee, tea will be served at your own place. So enjoy. Presentations will continue till the lunch break. Thank you.